Hi, this is Judy from So Easy Sewing. I'm going to do a short video on the embroidery side of the Verve. So let's go ahead and get started. So one of the most important parts of this is that you have the machine in the off position on any embroidery machine to take off or put on the embroidery arm. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this little front piece. Very easy. Set it aside. Get the embroidery arm from behind here, and you'll see that it's this little unit. It actually has this little lever for you to take off when you're taking it off. Hopefully your machine's on a level table or sewing surface, and then it'll slide on easily. Now we can turn the machine on. When we power it on, we get this same screen with the creative ideas filtering through, so when we touch it, it will turn into the embroidery. But there are some cute ideas on the front screen. So a message comes up. This message tells you that the carriage of the embroidery unit will move. Keep your hands and anything else away. So if you have anything on the surface or whatever, this little arm right here is going to move. It's only going to move a little tiny bit, but that puts it in the correct position for embroidery. I turned this design off when I was using the machine last time. Before I finished, it's asking me if I want to resume it. So that means I won't have to worry about, oh my gosh, the power went out and my embroidery design was right in the middle of it. You would just say, okay. I'm going to say cancel because I don't need it. Now, most of the buttons that we talked about in our last video from sewing are not effective anymore for us. Like, we don't need the reverse, we don't need needle up and down, we don't need the scissors, we don't need speed control. This start-stop will turn green when we lower the foot for embroidery. We have our LCD screen with our designs in it. Exclusive is a category that has several more categories. Celebrate, and then you can return, garden, return, delicate, return, or you can pick one. You want to see it big, there's a little hoop up there that's going to magnify it for you so that you can see that pretty little butterfly. If you want it, you would say, yes, we're going to return. We're going to return one more time. Return again. The next category are 9 designs for your creativity that are built in, and again, you would circle through them by touching your buttons here. Return. You have your built-in lettering. This is a beautiful font that can be used for nice gifts, wedding towels, whatever. I actually have one sewn out here that you can look at. And I also did some smaller lettering. The L, the A, and the B are the medium size in the lettering, and there's even smaller than that. So we're going to return. The next one is other fonts, and these fonts, I believe there's 10 of them, including some oriental fonts, some athletic lettering. When we return, this is your frames. These frames are not filled with stitches yet, so when you pick one, pick the heart, you now can scroll through and pick what you want the heart to have on it. You can say set, and now you can add, because you have an add button. You can go to your lettering and you can get a letter, and then lettering you have large, medium, and small. So if I did this or this, so I'm going to say set. It's in the middle. I can look at it. I would want to move it, so I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to say move, and I'm going to move my B more to the center. Okay, and say okay. You have size. I think I can make my B bigger, so I'll make my B something a little bigger. You can make it smaller, stretch it, so you can say okay. All right, so return. What is that saying? You know, I should have read it. This button does not operate when the embroidery foot unit is attached. Turn off the power and remove the embroidery unit. Okay, well, that's interesting. Well, the one thing I did not show you is that we need to place the embroidery foot on. So let's see if it recognizes that. So we're going to take this one off, and you remove the whole shank and the foot. I mean the shank and the, shank and foot. And then this one is a one-piece unit. See, it's just one piece. And you'll see that right here is where your screw goes. See that? So we're going to take that and we're going to put it onto here. Hopefully my head is not in your way. And tighten it up. Now make sure you use a screwdriver. Don't just tighten this with your hand, because the motion of embroidery can shake it off, and then you can break a needle right in the middle of your embroidery. So I'm going to get the screwdriver out here and tighten that up. Sorry, screwdriver is a little bit too big. Tighten it up good and tight. Okay. That's what it was. It knew the foot wasn't on. It knew the sewing foot was on. So if you get that message, you'll know what was causing it. So you can rotate it. You can change the color. See the color change? So whatever you want, say okay. You can, now when you're done, you can actually save it if you're doing more in this pocket also. This select button, it's going to select the heart. Now watch what happens when I size. Say okay, size it. When I make it bigger, it's going to be that heart. I make it littler, it's the heart. When I say okay and I select again, see how the box, if you can see that, is around the B. So now anything that I do, sizing it, rotating it, is going to affect my B. So I'm going to say end edit, and I could have saved it in this pocket if I'm doing, like, you know, a set of 4 placemats. Then I wouldn't have to do any changes. This button right here is very important. That's a trace button, and what it's going to do in the hoop is it's going to actually trace without sewing around your object, and you'll know whether or not you're right in the middle of these 2 lines, for instance. So we go to embroidery. Now in the embroidery mode, it tells me that it's got 18,009 stitches, that it's 5 minutes long, and it's 3 colors. It shows me the colors right here. This plus and minus button is real important. If your thread breaks in the middle of embroidery and you have to rethread, you might want to back up 1 to 10 stitches to make sure there wasn't any gap. You also can skip a whole color. So now you see it's on my heart. Let's go one more time. We'll skip again. You see now it's on my B. So if you bought a design and you love something inside, maybe you like Haley but you don't want the bubbles, you can skip the bubbles and get to Haley as long as the digitizer has made them separate colors. Return will get you back here. Then you hit embroidery. And now when I lower my foot, it's going to be the right color. To thread the machine, very simple. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you hit the needle up, needle down button, and that your needle is at the highest point so you don't break your needle threader. Use 2 hands and go under here. Hopefully you can see under here, under this little guy. And then I like to hold the thread, so it's a little hard to do this and not be in your way, and then go from the back. Let's see if that will work. And then you go under this little lip, right here, a little lip, right there. Hold your thread, go down, around, back up, back down. Now, at this point, you want to lower your foot and make sure there's tension on your thread, and then go behind number 6. Then there's a little cutout right here. You just line it up there and then let number 7 eat it between the 2 pieces of plastic. Cut it off from the back and thread it. Now all you do is hit go. To put your embroidery hoop on, obviously you would hoop some stabilizer and your embroidery, and it has 2 screws right here. You take those and you put them underneath. Try and go flat. Line them up with the 2 holes right here. Stick them in and press straight down. To remove it, you push on this little screw, a little metal piece, lift up, and off it goes. So, I hope this has gotten you excited about embroidering on your Verve. If you have any questions, you can call either the Occoquan store, 703-490-1536, and we'll assist you. Or you can call the Bristol store, which is 276-644-4099. Happy sewing and happy embroidery.